Hello, welcome to the Chit Chat Knits podcast. My name is Darcy, and I'm the maker at Chit Chat Knits Designs. I'm coming to you today from Wisconsin, western Wisconsin, on a pretty cool rainy day. It's pretty wet out there. We have cool, let's say cold weather coming. There is snow predicted in the forecast by the end of the week. So here we go. Winter's coming. Let's get started. What am I wearing today? I am warm and toasty because I am wearing a cowl. This is the time of year that I love to start wearing cowls. This one is called, let me show you. There it is. This is called my Spesh cowl, and the yarn has cashmere in it. So not only am I toasty warm, but I'm luxuriating in this beautiful yarn by Silly Goose Yarns, and the colorway is called I Flocking Love It. This is a pattern I put out this summer, when it was really too hot to wear cowls, but now, oh, it feels so good. We have to go into the cities this afternoon, and I am going to wear my cowl to keep me warm. Anyway, let's get started. I have some projects to show you. I want to talk about a fun event that some friends and I went to this weekend. At the front of the video, I put in some pictures of a Fiber Fest that we went to. This was not Rhinebeck. This was definitely Fiber Fest on a very, very small scale, but we had a great time. This was in Minnesota. It was the Minnesota Fiber Fest, and it was, like I said, it was a small little Fiber Fest. It was primarily geared to spinners. I'm not a spinner, but I found it very interesting. There were some wonderful yarn dyers there too. One of which was my friend Shelly from Cato Yarn Company, and I did make a little purchase from Shelly. So I will show you that in a little bit. It was lovely to see her. She was busy, and that made me happy that her booth was very, very busy. I chatted with her for a minute, got a picture, and then I was going to come back when their booth wasn't so busy. And as I was walking out, I saw a skein, and I turned right around and purchased it because I wanted to make sure that it came home with me. So I'll show you that in a little while. Other things we saw at the Fiber Fest, as I said, a lot of fiber, also candles, beautiful wood bowls. They had some gorgeous, gorgeous hand-turned wood yarn bowls. Oh, they were so pretty. And then some candles, and I did buy a candle, little splurge on a really nice beeswax candle. Didn't buy too much, just a couple of things, but just enjoyed walking around, seeing other friends in the fiber community, and just enjoying the warm, woolly goodness. One thing that was fun in it was there was a vendor there who had Angora rabbits, and this lady actually spins directly from the rabbit. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but she holds it in her lap and pulls the yarn, and it's just fascinating. And there was one rabbit that was just sitting there, and this rabbit was so tame that it just sat there the whole time. And kids came up and were petting it, people were petting it, taking pictures, and the rabbit just laid there like no big deal. So that was fun to see. That was a beautiful Angora rabbit. The thing that I found most fascinating at this Fiber Fest was a fiber yurt. And you will have seen pictures. It was gorgeous. It was large enough that you could walk into the yurt. It had a beautiful hand-painted supports and beautiful designs. It was made in, I wish I'd have taken more time and gotten more information. But you know how these festivals are always kind of crowded. But I did get a couple pictures, and you will have seen them on the front. It was just fascinating, fascinatingly beautiful. That was fun to see. I've never seen anything like that before, and it was so beautiful. We spent our time at the Fiber Fest, and then we went back to North Branch, Minnesota, to a brand new yarn shop that was just lovely. It's called Warm and Woolly Yarn Shop, and it's located in a space that used to be an outlet mall. So it's lots of parking. So that was not an issue. She had beautiful yarn, and she had such a nice, warm, inviting space. My friends and I that I went with, we decided to just sit there and knit for a couple hours, and it was just so comfortable. And there were other people that came in and sat and knit, and we visited. Just a lovely space. The owner, has small children, and so she has made this shop very accessible to, let's say, wheelchairs, strollers, whatever. She's got a lot of space to move around in. So I thought that was very considerate of her to think about the mobility of her customers. I will definitely be going back. It was such a comfortable space to just enjoy visiting with friends and knitting. We'll be going back. Anyway, that was a really fun day on the weekend. I have some projects to show you, so let's get started. The first project you saw last time, but now they are finished. These are my Grinch's heart socks. I did just a little color work there. And then down, I know it's always hard to see, down the leg, I've just put a little stitch detail that kind of helps with keeping the shape of the sock too. And then I think the most fun part, well, other than the color work, of course, is this toe. I love this striped toe, and I will definitely be doing that more often. I just think that turned out really cute. I used the green color. I told you before that it kind of reminded me of the Grinch, and so I like it. The color in it just kind of reminds me of furry Grinch. And that was a mystery skein. I'm sorry, I don't have a color name. This was from Daisy Stitch Company, and it was in a mystery pack that I got a while back. And then I used the pink mini skein, and then this green mini skein. The dark green against this background is not showing quite as well as I wish. I think if I would have used a third, you know, like a very neutral, let's just say white, off-white, behind the color work, it would have shown up better. I'm not sure. I still really like the socks. I think they're cute. They're going to be fun to wear during Christmas time, and they're very Grinchy. I think they're cute. I will wear them. So those are my Grinch's heart socks. I just, for me, I like a 64 count, stitch count, top down. I just did a 1x1 twisted rib. I sort of like the twisted rib because it pops out a little bit. Went into the color work. Now, here's what I did do. On the color work, I use a US 1. I like a 9-inch circular. I know everybody has different opinions about that, but it seems to work well for me. And you know what? You need to find what works best for you and do what works best for you. But what I did is I went up to a size 1.5 or 1.5 on the color work, just to make the color work pop. I should be having it with my logo on there. Isn't that cute? Showing you that part. So it gave me a little more ease in the color work because, you know, sometimes we tend to pull a little tighter on the color work. I do find that I like to use the 9-inch circular when I'm doing, especially if I'm doing color work on a sock, because it just helps me keep track of my yarns. And going up just a half a needle size also seems to help with keeping the gauge even. These are just things that work for me. So I like them. I think they're cute. I will be wearing those. Now, you see I have my little pumpkin back there. It's a ceramic pumpkin that a friend made one time and a little fallish. I showed you this yarn last time. Oops, I dropped him. I dropped my friend. So Halloween, but I have another little finish that I did this weekend that I have to show you because I absolutely think he's adorable. Are you ready? Look at this little guy. Isn't he cute? This is my little snowman. This pattern is by Amy Munson, and this one is the September snowman. This was a pattern for 2023, and each month she has these cute little guys. There's a Santa, there's a Mrs. Claus, there's a, gosh, I think there's an angel, a reindeer, a penguin. I know there's more. I think there's a little bird one of the months. I can't stand how cute this little snowman is. And he was so easy to make. Now, I'm generally not very good with knitting and stuffing. I guess sometimes they call them stuffies or whatever. I never usually turn out like the picture shows. It's kind of like, you know, when I try to do Pinterest things, I call them my Pinterest fails. But I feel like he turned out so well, and I'm so pleased. And I just did this while I was watching football on Sunday afternoon. It turned out, it was quick, it was easy. I will definitely be making more little snowmen. Oh, I can't stand it. Let's see, let's get a perspective. Okay, so here's a mechanical pencil. So you can see how big he is. Isn't he just so cute? I can't stand it. I love it. the yarns I used were actually in stash. Oh, so he was a stash buster. How about that? This is Cascade Yarns 220 Superwash Sport. There you go. 220 Superwash Sport. And the colors are white, white, and ruby. Yeah, white and ruby. Cascades 220. And I have plenty from those. Those are 50 gram skeins. I have plenty to make more, so I will be making more little cute snowman. I'm going to put him over here with the pumpkin. Cute. I saw a little cartoon the other day. If I can find it, I'll pop it in here. And it was a pumpkin driving in a car in one lane. It was a turkey driving in the car in the other lane. And it was Santa in a little car driving in another lane. And Santa is veering over to the other two in their lanes. And it said something about stay in your own lane. In other words, let October be October, November, November, and December be December. But I have a really hard time with that. I love Christmas stuff. So I always get the Christmas itch and get started early. When I used to sing, for 13 years, I sang on a dinner train. And our show was like we were World War II people coming home from World War II. And so we sang a lot of songs from the big band era. And we did at Christmas time, we always did music from the movie White Christmas. So and we always started rehearsing in October because we had to be ready for the show to open, right at the day after Thanksgiving. So in 13 years of starting Christmas in October, as soon as it hits October, I start thinking Christmas, and I want to be singing Christmas music. I want to be doing Christmas things. So excuse me if I'm not keeping Christmas in its own lane, but I just love it. That leads me to my next project. Now, this project is something that I put the yarn together with the pattern and swatched 2 years ago. Then it got shoved in the back of the closet. And I thought, this is the year I'm going to do this project. I think I even showed it maybe early on one of my podcasts because I really want to do this. This is a pillow, and it is a color work pillow. It is called Santa Pillow. I'm just going to show you right here. Santa Pillow. And this is by Kelly Lewinsky, Lewinski. And here is the picture. Isn't that cute? I just love it. It is 20 inches square. If I can't get a pillow form, I will just make a pillow and stuff it. So I don't forget, this pattern is available through Knit Picks. And I did look it up to make sure it's still available, and it is. You can purchase it on Knit Picks. They also have kits that you can purchase. Now, I did not get the kit. I am using Cascade Yarns. Here is my fancy bag that I have them in. It's just a plastic bag. You'd think I could find something better to put my yarns in, but so far, no. And you can see I started, I guess I did more than a swatch. I have to rip this out because I'm going to need this yarn. I wasn't happy with my color work, so I was too anxious to start again, so I cut it. That probably wasn't a great idea, but I will rip this out and reuse that yarn. Oh well. So here's what I have. The pink for the faces is Barocco LANAS 100% wool. I just really wanted this kind of a really really dull skin colored pink. Well, it's pretty much my skin color. You can make your Santas. And then Cascade 220 Superwash are the other ones that I have. So the red and the black and the white are those. Let's see how far I am. Here it is. Here are my Santas. It's rolling up, but once it's black, once it's washed, it won't roll up. I feel like my color work is going better this time. My problem the last time, I think, was that I was trying to catch my floats too often. I realized that this is a pillow. It's not going to be worn. Nobody's going to put their arm through it. It's going in the pillow, you know, the pillow's going inside, and the floats are not, we're not going to have to worry about the floats being snagged. So I am catching them, but not as frequently. So, and I'll be the first to admit, I am not a great color work person. This is definitely an area that I could really practice and get better at. And this project is helping me do that. So I guess that's good. But look at those faces. Isn't that adorable? I love them. There's one that most of the, all but one round are 2 color, which is fine, is easy. I hold a yarn, one throwing and one picking, you know, right and left, no problem. The one round, you know, in quite a number of them, is where you put the eyes in. And that's the 3 colors, because you have the pink, the white, and the black eyes. So on that round, luckily it's only 1 round, because I'm sure I could figure out ways to not tangle up my yarns. But I had a pretty tangled up mess. So when I'm going to come to that face again soon here, and I'm going to try really hard to keep my yarns separate and not get them quite so tangled up, because I had to stop and just untangle everything. And I'm sure that there are better ways of doing it than I'm getting them tangled, and I know I can do it better. So that'll be a practice for me when I get to that round again when there's 3 colors. But look at how cute he is. Oh, Santa. I think he's adorable. It does take a while. This color work is taking me a while. I have to do, well, okay, so I'm up to the second faces. So, I got a ways to go. Good thing it's only October. We'll see if I get it done this year. I hope so. I hope I stick with it, because I'd really like to have this on my sofa this Christmas season. And this, I just want to mention that Ruth Loves to Knit, the Ruth Loves to Knit podcast, she has a make-along, and it's called the Dust M-E-M Off Mail. Dust 'em Off Mail. And so I'm going to put this in her make-along, not to enter for prizes really, but just as a motivation to keep going and get it done. Dust them off, mail. So think about what's in your closet. Is there anything that you've been wanting to get finished? Dig it out and get going on it. Yay. Join the Dust 'em Off mail. We'll see. I will put a stitch marker on this to keep track of where I showed you this time. So you can challenge me to get done. So by December, it is done. I'll show you next time how far I get. It is fun. I'm having fun with it. I'm happy that I'm working on it. All right, one more thing to show here. I told you that I bought some yarn from Shelly of Cato Yarn Company. So here it is. Isn't that pretty? I love blue. I just love blue, to wear blue. I wear a lot of blue. In the last couple of years, I've tried to branch out a little bit and wear other colors. When I used to quilt all the time, every quilt had blue in it. So I tried to branch out, but this was, as I said, I was walking out of her booth with intention of coming back when it maybe wasn't quite so busy, and this jumped into my hands because I just had to have it. It's worsted weight. The color is called Mermaids. 100% merino wool, 100 grams, 218 yards. Won't that make pretty mittens? Mm-hmm. And I have a blue winter jacket, so that is pretty. I love it. All right, the last thing is that our Warm Ears Mal is continuing. We still have, today is the 25th, we have until November 15th, so almost 3 weeks. This is to make any hat, hat, headband, anything that you want to make that keeps your ears warm. And I'm going to add some pictures in here. Maybe I'll add them at the end to show you a few of the finished objects. We have a Ravelry group, Chitchatknits Ravelry group. We have a discussion thread, and we have a finished object thread. And if you make a Chitchatknits hat pattern, basically, because that's what would keep your ears warm, you would please list your finished object twice in the finished object thread. You get 2 entries for a Chit-Chat-Knits pattern. You can also enter on Instagram at warmearsmal23. And I just want to say too, if your Instagram, if you'd like to be part of the make along and your Instagram account is private, or you just don't use Ravelry or Instagram, you are not excluded. Please just send me an email at chitchatknits@gmail.com. I'll put it down here. And just send me a picture and I'll make sure that you're included. We don't want anyone excluded. I am so excited to see all the entries in the finished object thread and on Instagram. It's so fun to see you all participating, and we have some great prizes. I just want to tell you that I will announce the winners. There will be 3 winners, one from Instagram, one from the group discussion, and one from the finished object. And I will announce those winners just after November 15th. So we'll wait for everybody to get their entries in by, I won't do anything until after November 15th. And then I will record a podcast and name the winners on the podcast. So if you are entering, please be sure to watch the next episode right after November 15th so that I can announce the winners. Yay. If you have any questions, be sure to just shoot me an email at chitchatknits@gmail.com. I hope you enter. It would be a great time to maybe knit. Oh, here I go. Christmas presents, hats for Christmas presents. I think maybe there might be a few people doing that because I'm seeing people posting multiples of a pattern they've made. And that's fun too. All right, any questions? Just shoot me an email. All right, I asked last time if you were doing some knitting for Christmas, and we did have some replies. Someone said they were knitting socks for all the ladies in their family. That's a big undertaking to knit socks. I think that did I hear one time there's 30,000 stitches in a pair of socks, fingering weight socks? That's a lot of love in stitches. Some hats, a few things. So, what are you knitting? Are you knitting any gifts? Are you getting started on Christmas knitting, or am I the only one driving in the wrong lane? Am I driving my Christmas cart in the other month's lanes? Thank you for watching today. I hope all your making brings you joy. Bye for now.